Greetings to you. It's always a pleasure welcoming you to yet another edition of Sports Vision, your favorite sports program on CRTV Sports and Entertainment. It is a special edition of a broadcast this Friday, given that we are a few hours to this year's edition of the final of the Football Cup of Cameroon, which officially closes the sports season in Cameroon. And to talk about the final of the Football Cup of Cameroon, which is going to pit PWD of Bamenda against Fauveau Baham this Sunday at the Yaoundé Omnisport Stadium. In this edition of our program, we'll look at how these two teams, PWD of Bamenda on the one hand and Fauveau Baham on the other, have been preparing for this great final, given that the two teams already in the nation's capital city. How were they preparing while in Bamenda and while in Bafoussam, respectively? We get to listen to some of the football fans in the west and northwest regions of Cameroon tell us what are their predictions prior to Sunday's final, and why not listen to some of the key stakeholders, football stakeholders in these two regions, talk about the importance of this great football final, which officially closes the sports season in Cameroon. Lots more put in place by the entire Sports Vision team as we enjoin you to remind your friends, tell your neighbors that it is time for Sports Vision on CRTV Sports and Entertainment. We get set to unveil the rich and interesting package we have prepared for you out there. We shall be back after this break.
Africa, oh, yeah. Africa, 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 Africa.
Ça fait rêver, ça fait vibrer, ça fait danser. Oh, Africa, ça fait rêver, ça fait vibrer, ça fait danser. Oh, Africa. Bariula baragaya bizata sorona. Bakewala ye, yewala malilela. La Guinée, le Gabon, Sénégal, le Bénin, Yaoundé, oh, quel beau pays. Africa, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Africa, 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 Africa.
Indeed, a special edition of Sports Vision broadcast from Upstation in Bamenda. This is Upstation in Bamenda. You see this beautiful area view of the northwest region of Cameroon, precisely the town of Bamenda, looking forward to Sunday's final, given that one of the flag bearers of this region, PWD of Bamenda, they are already in Yaoundé and they will be playing the final this Sunday. An entire northwest region, I should say, the beautiful city of Bamenda, looking forward to a possible victory for PWD of Bamenda against Fauveau Baham. As you heard in our top stories, the final of the Football Cup of Cameroon, which officially closes the sports season in Cameroon. It has been the case for several years, and it is either in the presence of the head of state or its representative that the different sporting federations that gets to, or winners of the different finals in the different federations get to receive their trophies officially as winners, which officially puts an end to the sports season in Cameroon. The importance of the Football Cup of Cameroon, which serves as the hidden agenda of the closing ceremony of the sports season in Cameroon, is narrated for us by Gideon the Final Tezo, who now joins us on board Sports Vision. Greetings to you, Gideon.
Hello, good evening, Baldwin, and welcome. This year, like the years before, the Cup of Cameroon final will be a moment not to miss in the country. As a matter of fact, the pomp and pageantry that has always characterized the Cup of Cameroon final, where the head of state comes out in one of his rarest moments to meet or commune with the sports movement, is a moment when everybody is looking forward to. Of course, it is equally a day when the head of state equally encourages the administrators of the sports movement. I mean, those who run the federations with his handshake of the president. It's equally a day when the Cameroonian youth prove to the president that they can be counted on. That is through the dances, the choreography displays, and why not the match patch with the trophies. So about this summer, in today's edition of the program, I take you to revisit or to look at the importance or the significance of the Cup of Cameroon final to the Cameroon sports movement.
The Cameroon Football Challenge Cup final, a day when the country's folks come together to celebrate sports, a day of solemnity and honor. On this day, The presence of all the country's top officials in the stadium to salute the arrival of the President of the Republic gives the day a special color and charm.
La finale est présidée par le chef de l'État, le premier sportif camerounais. Auparavant, on parlait simplement de la finale de la Coupe du Cameroun, mais depuis quelques années, c'est la clôture de la saison sportive. Donc c'est le moment où plus que jamais, le père de la nation, le chef de l'État, a autour de lui tous ceux qui ont participé à l'éclosion des talents, qui ont produit des résultats, qui ont permis aux sportifs de se hisser au meilleur niveau possible. Ils viennent donc clôturer la saison sportive.
By its pomp and pageantry, the Cameroon Football Cup final has carved out a unique niche in the country's sports milieu. It is the only day when the entire sports movement graces the nation with a full parade. It equally offers unique opportunities as well. Firstly, it offers the President of the Republic the opportunity to communion with his people.
C'est une façon pour le chef de l'État de communier avec le public sportif parce que les sorties comme celle-là sont rares. Vous savez, au cours de l'année, le chef de l'État sort pour le Conseil supérieur de la magistrature, il y a la cérémonie de remise des diplômes à l'EMIA, il y a la fête nationale. Voilà les principales sorties de son agenda. Et vous voyez qu'il est là lors de la clôture des activités sportives. Et tout le monde se bat, tout le monde souhaite être récompensé, être félicité, être encouragé par le chef de l'État à cette occasion précise.
Secondly, the day provides the head of state with a chance to encourage sports administrators of the sports movement as he shakes hands with the federation heads.
Le chef de l'État a dit un jour un seul mot, continuer. Il l'a dit à une occasion précise, mais c'est valable pour les autres champs, c'est valable pour les autres disciplines sportives. Le chef de l'État est conscient de ce qu'ils produisent du travail sur le terrain. Leurs athlètes produisent des résultats et eux-mêmes, ils accompagnent leurs athlètes. Alors, le chef de l'État les encourage. Il veut les amener à aller plus haut, à aller plus loin, à aller plus vite. Donc, comme j'ai eu à le dire tantôt, il serait difficile pour un président de fédération de rater un moment comme celui-là, parce que c'est un moment solennel, c'est un moment historique.
Through amazing dances and choreographies, the youths impress the president and dignitaries with their energy and creativity.
La vigueur, la vitalité, la créativité, l'inventivité et l'ingéniosité de la jeunesse camerounaise. On démontre tout cela au travers des chorégraphies, au travers des mouvements synchronisés, ce qu'on appelle la grande parade culturelle. Et à ce niveau, vraiment, les jeunes montrent qu'ils ont de la vigueur, qu'on peut compter sur eux et qu'on a même eu raison de compter sur eux, de tabler sur eux.
Through his presence or that of his personal representative at the cup final and the subsequent award of medals and trophies to the champions of the season in the different sports disciplines, the head of state does not just put a cap on the sports season, but reassures the sports movement of his steadfast support any day, any time.
Well, Baudin Sama, it's going to be another unique moment in Cameroon sports movement. As you can see, the Cameroon final. At this moment, I can tell you that the sports world is jogging and getting set to be at the Mount Ahijo Stadium for the grand finale of the Cup of Cameroon. Well, which is equally the close of the sports season in Cameroon. A unique moment indeed, where people will have to commune with the head of state in an atmosphere of solemnity. At the same time, an atmosphere of conviviality. Gideon Tazo reporting here for Sports Vision.
Thank you so much, Gideon. The final tells all history will once more be written at the end of for the final this Sunday. And one of the finalists we're talking about, PWD of Bamenda Charity Begins at Home. Given that we are broadcasting from Bamenda, this special edition of Sports Vision, they had a very, very stiff road to the final, trying as much as possible to outsmart some teams in Elite 1 and Elite 2 to get right to the final. And one of the most difficult tasks was at the semi-finals when they had to outsmart Stade of Banjul, a regional football team in the West region of Cameroon that had already created sensation by getting right to the stage, the semi-final stage for that competition. But it was an easy ride for PWD of Bamenda, sailing through from the 16 finals to the final of the Cup of Cameroon that they will be playing this Sunday. Romeo Kenny joins us on board Sports Vision to explain to us how PWD of Bamenda passed through the 16 finals and found their way at the final that they'll be playing this Sunday. Greetings to you, Romeo.
Bafoussam by night illuminated Junction Town because it is town that those who are coming from the northwest region of Cameroon, you could mention places like Santa, Bengui. It is through this particular beautiful town that they go to Yaoundé. To Yaoundé this time around because they will be aiming through PWD of Bamenda to play the Cameroon Cup final this year's edition. That will be against Fovu of Baham. Fovu of Baham is a town not far, Fovu is a club of a town that is not far from Bafoussam, just around Banjul, and then when you reach Baham, before you cross to go to Bati. But Bodwin, I almost forgot greeting you in one of the beautiful languages of the northwest of Cameroon. The people of Akun will say Abela, in Bengui they will say Afezi. Maybe here in the west region of Cameroon, the people of Bamuto will say Ozorontu. But this time around, we're going to talk about PWD of Bamenda. He said, this club that went as much as winning almost all their matches. 5 matches, they won, 4, then just playing 1 draw, and then they proceeded winning through penalty shootout. That was against Dynamo of Douala. And so, how was the performance of Team PWD along the Cup of Cameroon race? You could call it the parkour. Let's get to the machines to understand the facts and statistics.
Say, now you be the best. No, say, now you be one mama, oh. Come on, let's do it now.
From their backyard in Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon, PWD Social Club were unstoppable on their way to the Cameroon Cup Grand Finale this year. In 5 mouth-watering confrontations, the Abakwa boys showed determination and resilience. First, they were ruthless against Dream Olympic FC, bashing the amateur side 7 goals to 1.
Thank you for the love you showed me. Without you, my Bamenda, I nobody existed. Thank you, my Bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat for your children. I am proud of you. You are rich. I am proud of you. You are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon like Africa in the one land. My Bamenda.
P. Tong Tong moved on spanking Fovazu 4 goals to nothing in what looked like an easy ride. Against the team of the Army and Police, FAP, PWD imposed a narrow 1-0 advantage, then progressing to the quarters where they faced Dynamo of Douala in a nerve-breaking outing. Both sides managed to pull a 1-1 tie to prolongations, and then PWD maximized on experience to outsmart the Banabanjo 6 goals to 5 after post-penalty shootout. The semi-final cracker against Stade Banjul in a grass-field derby, and again PWD of Bamenda put up a stellar performance, winning 2 goals to 1 to pick a precious ticket for the grand finale. Out of the 5 matches the Abakwa boys played, they netted 15 goals. Mathematically, they scored averagely 3 goals per match while conceding 3 times. During the campaign, 2 players added efficiency to PWD's strong engagement. He was the man in command at the defense. Thomas Etabawa got the job well done just when his rich experience was much needed. He was also a mentor and troop galvanizer to the rest of the defense and the rest of the squad. Etabawak also went extra miles, scoring some of the club's most interesting goals. And while the defense line was kept clear from every danger, Lionel Ateba was a kingpin up front, netting across every cylinder without fear. From every indication, PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda displayed crystal clear intentions of emerging champions of the Cup of Cameroon this term, just like it was the case in 2021, and that is not impossible for the Abakwa boys.
All the hard-working sons and daughters of this great northwest region of Cameroon.
Well, Borden, you've noticed that from all the facts and statistics, PWD of Bamenda, they're quite ready to go fetch another title of the Cup of Cameroon. They did that before, and so it's not the first time that they're going to be playing the Cup of Cameroon final. But then it is also moments too to talk the fact that there is a strong community of the people of the northwest of Cameroon that live in the west of Cameroon. So I'm just around the agency. You've been seeing me with my own back, meaning that I'm rushing to Yaoundé to also be part and parcel of this grand finale between PWD of Bamenda and Fovo of Baham. So thank you very much. We shall meet some other time, Borden.
Thank you so much, my dear Romeo Kenny. PWD of Bamenda. They arrived Yaoundé late Wednesday night from Limbe in the seaside resort town of Limbe, there in the southwest region of Cameroon, where they had equally intensified training sessions there prior to the final to be played this Sunday. But before traveling over to Limbe, PWD of Bamenda, they had a series of training sessions here in Bamenda, where they trained for several weeks under the auspices of their head coach, Constantin Bep, working on the winning strategies that will permit them outsmart Fovo Baham this Sunday, that will permit them win the trophy just as it did 2 years ago at the Yaoundé Omnisport Stadium. To tell us more as to how PWD prepared here in Bamenda before traveling to Limbe and finally in Yaoundé for the Cup of Cameroon final is our indefatigable lady here in the northwest region of Cameroon. Her name, Clenis Ayumbom. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome.
Good evening, Badwin, and welcome to the Northwest Regional Capital, Bamenda, home of PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda, also known as P Tonton or the Abakwa Boys. They are based here, and of course, they have been working tirelessly to see that they prepare ahead of the Cup of Cameroon finals this year. And so, Badwin, they have been training at the Bamenda Municipal Stadium, making sure that they dot the I's and cut the T's. The errors that they committed during the season and even during the other games of the Cup of Cameroon will be corrected on the D-Day. We shall be taking you now to the Bamenda Municipal Stadium to test the temperature of what the Abakwa boys have been up to since the return from the semis of the Cup of Cameroon. Follow me there. It's been months since PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda returned to their base here in Bamenda after they played one of the semi-final games of the Cup of Cameroon. They are getting ready for the final against Fovo Club of Baham. The Abakwa boys have been working tirelessly daily to keep themselves fit for the challenge.
Ever since we played the semi-finals of the Cameroon Cup against Stade Banjul, we gave the team 10 days break because we thought the finals were going to come anytime soon. So we started training, and since the season is equally fast coming, we have to equally involve the recruitment process in it, where we are bringing in some new players to complete the team as following up our preparation for the next season.
Now, so everybody feeling me like I'm rolling on the beat like that. Bounce up boy, back in the day, when did you make the kiwi with me?
The Abakwa boys have made it a routine to meet each day, either at 10 a.m. or at 3 p.m. And this is to sharpen their skills for the big challenge.
I think it depends on what the coaches want. You know, they might prefer to start their preparations with the physical work, and of course later on they get into the technical aspects of it. And once they feel like they are already getting what they expected from the players technically, they will engage the pre-season friendlies, where in the days ahead we are expecting the team to play friendly games. For now, we can't say with precision which opponents they are going to face, but one thing is for sure, in the days ahead we are going to play some pre-season friendly games to why not evaluate the players and their level of readiness for the Cameroon Cup finals.
Now so everybody feeling me like I'm rolling on the beat like that.
PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda is also bent on correcting the errors that could have seen them missing out on playing the final of the Cup of Cameroon. The team has therefore recruited new players to reinforce the compartment that could lead to poor output.
It depends on the FECAFOOT Management Bureau if the players who participate in the new players who participate in the finals. As it happens sometimes when we play the finals in 2022, the new players actually participated, and we expect that it will be same this season as we are preparing to enter the new season, since the system has already been open for players to be registered. So it's very possible that they can play. But then, even if they don't play, we have a full squad that will represent us in the finals.
For now, I think we have a blend of old players and of course new players who have been taking part in the training session. It's true that we are yet to officially make announcements as far as the new recruits are concerned, but then the coaches have been doing their best to make sure that we have a best possible team that will represent us in the competition. It's true that the supporters should also be expecting to why not see new faces, and of course as it's always the case with football, players are expected to leave the club, so we might have players who qualify the team for this stage of the competition who unfortunately might not be part of the Cameroon Cup finals. But then we are not yet there. In the days ahead we'll definitely be making announcements, but I think everything now is getting to shape.
PWD of Bamenda invest sufficient time daily for their training sessions, and everything is being put at the disposal of the club to see that their output is impressive. As the team train, the major difficulty they encounter is a befitting training avenue. The supporters remark that the team is doing well, and this impediment could impair their performance.
We'll be sure say we go bring the Cup of Cameroon for Bamenda. But one thing where the worry we in a stadium where we no get them. I've been a Mami PWD alias Corn and Granite.
We produce good clubs in Cameroon. From Interpol to First Division, we are left behind. Why? So we are thinking that FECAFOOT should consider us, so that by next season, we should be playing on a better field than playing on these doors.
You see where we are training? We need this stadium because if this stadium, it can stop some of this crisis in the Northwest. We need this stadium. Bamenda people need this stadium because this stadium is the people's stadium. From 1990 we have crisis, but we need this stadium because we are calling all the lovers. If you really love the Northwest and you love Bamenda, please, all the elites, all the ministers, all the government delegates, all the people that we know them, I'm talking to them. Please, a law can be taken. This stadium, we need it. Please.
As the Abakwa boys are getting set for the Cup of Cameroon final this year, they are also looking forward to have a successful 2023-2024 Elite One football season in Cameroon. Team officials also detail that they will play a series of friendlies with local clubs, so they will be 100% fit for the upcoming games.
We're proud of who we are, nigga. We're proud of who we are. That is who we are.
We've all seen what the Abakwa boys are up to and heard what the team officials have said. The team is 95% ready for the final game against the Fuvu Club of Baham. 95% because they are praying for 0 injuries, so there should be 100% on the day of the final. And so it's just the cry of the people of the Northwest region to see that this particular team clinches this trophy for the second time in about 3 years. So we are wishing them the best from the Northwest region, hoping that their output is going to reflect what they've been able to put in during their training sessions.
It's always a pleasure having you on Sports Vision, my dear Clenis, and we are looking forward to having you in Yaoundé on Sunday for the grand finale, because we are told you are part of the accompanying team from Bamenda traveling over to Yaoundé to watch and support PWD win the final. And PWD will be looking forward to winning their second ever Cup of Cameroon final after they did so for the first time 2 years ago. Over there in Yaoundé was the Yaoundé Municipal Stadium. The very first time they played at the final way back in 1979 when they lost to Dynamo for Douala, which was a bitter pill to swallow for most football pundits, for most supporters for PWD of Bamenda. Rene Kachi takes us memory lane to revisit PWD of Bamenda's history and romance with the Football Cup of Cameroon.
Good evening, Baldwin, and thanks for having me on Sports Vision today. Well, like you said, we should be talking about PWD of Bamenda, right? I mean, one of the most respected football outfits in the country, founded in 1962. Should I say they have won it all? They have won the Cameroon Cup, they have won the championship, remember, in 2020, and then, of course, 2021. But then, PWD of Bamenda are like an Oliver Twist. In spite of having won the Cup of Cameroon and the championship, they want to win it again. And this year they're going to be playing against Fuvu of Baham, who happen to be one of their arch rivals as far as domestic football in Cameroon is concerned. And so today on Sports Vision, we should be looking at the travesty, we should be looking at, the journey of PWD of Bamenda in terms of the Cup of Cameroon race since its inception, how they have been participating and faring in this competition. That's what we shall be looking at in this package.
And you cannot hide that smile. That smile that comes after 43 years of waiting. We can imagine the celebrations in the streets of Bamenda.
The relationship between PWD of Bamenda and the Cameroon Cup is like a sweet romantic tale between two lovers who know each other just too well. The Abakwa boys are fast becoming masters of the competition, having had their most glorious achievement just 2 years ago. The Cameroon Cup title might have evaded them twice in the past, but the 2021 success story tells of a giant killer victor that never gives up even when he falls several times. The Abakwa boys are in their 4th outing at the final of the Cup of Cameroon, same as their counterparts Fuvu Club of Baham. PE have raised the trophy just once and will be up against Fuvu, who count 2 titles won in 2001 and 2010. The timing has never been this important for the Northwest Regional Giants, who have lost 2 legends who shared the same umbilical cord with the PWD of Bamenda family, notably former club president Ni John Frundi and the spirited goalkeeper Joseph Agua. These 2 emblematic club figures who wrote beautiful stories with the Abakwa boys passed on to eternity this year. Memories of their exploits are still fresh within the club circle, and it is but normal that PWD of Bamenda immortalize these memories by winning the 2023 Cameroon Cup final against Fuvu. Created in 1962 as a social club of the delegation of the Ministry of Public Works in the Northwest region, PWD alias Abakwa Boys first qualified for the final of the Cup of Cameroon in 1967. Unfortunately, they lost 1-0 against a spirited Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. 12 years later, that is in 1979, the club came close to winning the title for the first time, but again fell short of glory against Dynamo FC of Douala, who defeated them by 3-1.
Et le but, ouverture du score ici au Stade Amadouaïdo. L'équipe de PWD de Bamenda ouvre le score et ouvre les voies de la victoire.
In 2021, a year after they won the Elite Championship for the first time, the Abakwa boys ended a 60-year wait to win their first Cameroon Cup title, thanks to this well-taken set piece from 19-year-old forward Chem Herbert, who recently signed for Spanish club Leganes. PWD defeated Astro of Douala 1-0. And here they come again with another dream to fulfill. Thomas Etabawak and his teammates had a blistering journey to the final after recording 5 victories in 5 outings. That is from the 64th round to the final. They defeated Stade Banjul 2-1, beat Jiko FC 2-1, urged Dynamo FC of Douala 7-6 on penalties, outsmarted ISFAP 1-0, as well as defeating Fauve Azu 4-0.
Les fans qui peuvent aussi voir de près ce trophée tant convoité par l'équipe.
And so, Bodwin, obviously great names like Pius Ndefi, and Dongcho Matthew Mbuta, and a good number of others who applied their trade with PWD Bamenda will be watching this final against Fauve Baham so closely. And then, of course, they also are going to be having the blessings of those who have gone before them. Talking about, former, club president Nijan Fundi, who died just a few months ago. And then, of course, the legendary goalkeeper, Mr. Joe. So that's what we had time for to put onto this edition of Sports Vision from our Douala Connection. Have a swell weekend in the company of Sports Vision. Those of you watching us from around the world, over to you, Baldwin.
And with such a history as far as the Football Cup of Cameroon is concerned, it is obvious that many football lovers in the northwest region of Cameroon, where we find ourselves presently, are looking forward to our victory for PWD or for Bamenda. How have they been mobilizing prior to this final? How would they watch the final? How would they support PWD of Bamenda against Fauve of Baham? Veronica Aji of CATV Northwest here in Bamenda took a microphone along the streets for Bamenda to sample the views and opinions of football stakeholders and lovers here in this part of the country, and now tells us how courageous, how psychologically ready they are to push their team to victory.
Supporters of PWD Football Club of Bamenda are already dotting I's and cutting T's.
We are ready. The whole Bamenda will be empty. Whether crisis or not crisis, we will take that cup, because to prove that PWD Bamenda is something that we need it. Last time we take it, and this time it's an excellent thing. We are going to take the cup.
Some fans in Bamenda have readjusted their work timetable to participate in trainings and encourage players.
I need time and opportunity with the work schedule I have. I make sure I come to the field in order to see how the training session is going on. As you can see for yourself right away, we are at the training ground and it's a daily routine. Automatically, we are already very ready and trying all possible means to see how to make our arrangement to move there as friends, not just fans, then as friends, because the combination of fan club and friends will make the environment to be more relaxed.
For a vibrant final, supporters have been holding virtual meetings.
We have various forums where we communicate, we pass out information which are very vital with regards to the finals. We have meetings with various stakeholders as far as the finals, that is the scrum up is concerned. We are discussing on a daily basis on how to approach the finals, on how to mobilize, how to get buses to go to Yaoundé and come back.
We are told on the D-Day, the stadium will be decorated with the PWD colors as fans home and abroad are expected.
We have jerseys that are being marketed everywhere in the world, not only in Cameroon. The supporters are very high-spirited. So to be honest with you, everybody is anxious. The turnout will be massive. The spirit is very high. Of course, PWD is a household name. It's a national, it's a way of life. It's not something that is just based in Bamenda. It's a way of life. It's something that is international. We live PWD Bamenda. It's in our blood. So it is all over. It's not only Bamenda. It's the southwest, it's the littoral, it's the center, it's the east, south, the north, everywhere. You go to China, go to America, go to Europe. We have fans there who are ready. I can tell you that there are fans who are in America who will be here during that finals.
Just like during the last final and victory of the Abakwa boys, elites and the man on the Clapham omnibus are putting hands on deck for all to be a success.
At the level of the regional office, we'll be giving the moral support, just encouraging the players and the rest
trying to see if they are fit for the prepare them morally to be fit for the finals. I will stand here to appreciate the elites of the Northwest region, that especially to Minister Ambayo Felix, who championed the mobilization for PWD. I think as we were talking, as for today, we have already about 50 million that is already contributed to support them during these finals.
FECAFOOT officials are upbeat. Transportation of supporters will be well taken care of.
With the one-on-one discussion I had with the governor, we still have to do the same mobilization, like councils coming in to support with buses. The city council came in last time with 3 buses. I've already elected the city mayor. He's even ready this time around to come up with even 4 70-seaters to support this PWD to the finals. They have already 2 30-seaters that are already ready. Me here, like the regional president and the mayor of Bamenda, one council, I brought in 1 70-seater last year, but this year I'll be coming up with 2. And the fans are already very prepared to travel because they know they have the means of transportation.
The Abakwa boys are actively preparing for a second win at the national level as fans look forward to adequate infrastructures and more wins for the Northwest region.
And as the supporters mobilize to support and push their team to victory, others are already predicting. They have already given their predictions as to what will be the outcome for the final on Sunday against Fovu Football Club of Baham. Let's get back to Clenis Ayumbom once more, our indefatigable Clenis Ayumbom, who comes back to talk about the predictions of football fans here in the Northwest region of Cameroon prior to Sunday's final. Good evening once more and welcome back, Clenis Ayumbom.
As the Abakwa boys take on their workout sessions at the Bamenda Municipal Stadium here in Bamenda, there are also hundreds of supporters who turn out daily to watch what the team has been up to. They also make remarks, they make comments, but then there is one interesting thing that has been happening with them. They have been quick to do their predictions. Some say it's going to be a day for PWD of Bamenda, but then not just on a 1-0 score. Let's go back to the field of play to understand what they have to say when it concerns the scores of PWD Social Football Club against Football Club of Baham during the final of the Cup of Cameroon. The fans, supporters of PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda turn out in their numbers each day to witness the workout sessions of the Abakwa boys. From time to time, the diehards take note of errors and also make recommendations in their little groups present around the field. As they watch, they are able to make remarks.
Our impression are that we have to carry the Cup of Cameroon. We have to work hard in order to bring the cup in the Northwest region. And moreover, my elites are preparing to support me in Yaoundé to bring the cup.
So far, PWD's supporters are impressed by what the team is able to put up so far, and they are already envisaging how the outcome of the final of the Cup of Cameroon against Football Club of Baham will look like.
We will win Football Baham 2-1 because it's not going to be easy.
Fufu is a very strong club. I know, not thinking, we're bringing the cup here by winning Fufu by 2-0. 2-0, nothing beside that. We're coming here with the cup.
We are going to win Fufu 2-1.
I know we are going to win Fufu at least 3-0. I'm very, very optimistic.
The goals go be 2-1.
You know, football like that,
It's 3-0. I'm very, very optimistic.
The goals go be 2-1.
You know, football like that, I know that we'll win 1-0. 1-0. Because it will be a mystery goal.
The supporters of PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda are optimistic about the output of their darling club, and they say they are ready to storm the nation's capital, Yaoundé, to give the team the support it deserves on the day of the final of the Cup of Cameroon. Baldwin, the predictions of the fans are always right until after 90 minutes and plus, if you may put it that way. And now the ball is in the courts of the Abakwa Boys, PWD Social Football Club of Bamenda, or P Tonton. Let's see what is going to obtain on the D-Day as the Darling Club takes on Football Club of Baham. The supporters are all ready. Everyone here in the Northwest region is ready. And the buses are ready too, because this is the departure point at Upstation here in Bamenda, the last lane that they are going to hit before heading to Yaoundé for the final of this year's Cup of Cameroon. Over to you, Baldwin.
Thank you so much, Clenis Ayumbom. Just like football lovers along the streets of Bamenda, so too is the case with some elites of the Northwest region of Cameroon. They have continuously shown a lot of support, moral, financial support for PWD of Bamenda for several years, especially the last 2 years when they won the Cup of Cameroon, when they raised so much money to buy a new bus for PWD of Bamenda. This time around, they have raised over 50 million CFA francs once more to support the entire PWD of Bamenda team. And these elites, members of the Northwest elites, have been meeting in a series of gatherings to ensure that they guarantee enough support for PWD of Bamenda even after the final that will be played this Sunday. Some of them happen to be one-time former part of the management team of PWD of Bamenda. Let's get to listen to some of these members of the elite of the Northwest region of Cameroon talk about their support for PWD of Bamenda.
PWD makes us proud. Just that they even got to the final and are going to play the final warms our hearts. And we are looking up to them taking the cup, winning the match so as to take the cup with them. It will be our pride. That will be a second time within a short while that they will have been, that they are playing the finals, and we're hoping that they will still take the cup, because it is our pride. PWD is our pride of the Northwest. You know, football brings a lot of joy. Football unites people. So many people love football all over the place, and we are always resolutely behind them. The regular and constant support is to keep them afloat, so that they should not go down because they didn't have the finances to help them get to where they were supposed to get to. It is our own way of showing them that we are behind you people, that you are not alone. It is our own way of telling them that go forward, because we don't just sit down and clap. We should do something to help them. I will be at the stadium, and what I can tell the team is that if we are coming to the stadium, because we want to support them, because we are coming to take the team along with them. So they should not let us bury our heads in shame at the stadium. We are behind them, and that they should play very well and bring the team. We're not just coming for them to play, but that they should play, and we accompany them, carry the team, the cup along with us when it's time.
In 2005, I was then the regional boss for customs in the Northwest, and I was elected in absentia the vice president of PWD Bamenda. But of course, I accepted with joy, because it was an honor for me. I want to praise him because if you look at the last seasons, they've always been amongst the first four, in terms of their ranking in the league, amongst the first four. And of course, they've won for the past, I think, 4 years. They're going to play the cup finals twice. So this is indicative that the new management style is there for continuity and then for stability of the club. Every Miracle on Sunday will be on stadium. I'll put on my jersey as my tracksuit as a major supporter, and of course a past executive of PWD. And our prayer is that PWD should carry the day. And I'm very convinced that they are very good players. Some have been called up to the national team for practice, and I think they have something to say when it comes to football in Cameroon.
I'm a great fan to PWD right from when I was young. My late father of blessed memory, may his soul rest in perfect peace, Honorable Peter Conformum, was one of the executives sometimes of PSS, of PWD Social Club of Bamenda. And that notwithstanding, I played in Bamenda Central Women Football Club that at that time used to be like an annex of PWD. So all our jerseys then used to be blue and white like PWD. So growing up as a young female footballer in the Northwest, I already had fun and great memories for PWD. Sunday would not be a deceiving day for the people of Cameroon because I know all of them will be mounting their support to support PWD Social Club of Bamenda, our darling P Tonton. And obviously on Sunday, what a question. Where will you be? Imagine for yourself, I'm in Yaoundé. They are playing the cup finals of PWD in Bamenda, and I'm not in Yaoundé, and I'm not on the field. I'll not only be on the field, I'll be receiving some of these supporters that will be coming from wider here.
When they played the first Cup of Cameroon, I may like to tell you that I was doing military service, and it was a very painful experience for us, losing the cup and then the harshness of the training. But 2 months before then, I was doing my internship in the governor's office in Bamenda, and we had the pleasure to welcome PWD Bamenda twice, when they eliminated Canon and when they eliminated Tonnerre. With this, we were sure that we'll get the cup. Unfortunately, we didn't have it. We are grateful to a number of our elder brothers who have organized us. Each time we have to come on board to put our hands in the pocket, and it is working very well because it's well organized. As I said, I won't name them, but we have a number of our elder brothers who are there ready to do everything for the success of PWD. The echoes that are coming from all over are good. So my message is that we should first of all mobilize very well. Secondly, we should play well. We should also have a spirit of fair play. We are going out to win, but if we lose, we should continue to play. We should continue to be ourselves. And thirdly, and most importantly, we should be disciplined. We should be very disciplined because when there are hundreds and thousands of people involved, at times it's difficult to control them. We should be disciplined and we should show an example. We should prove to the people that, sports, football in particular, is a game of rules, it has discipline, and we should use it to show that, we are disciplined people.
Et le but, ouverture du score ici en Stade Amadouaïdo. L'équipe de PWD de Bamenda ouvre le score.
A laudable initiative it is there for these elites of the northwest region of Cameroon. PWD of Bamenda, if they have to win the trophy, they will have to solve the Fauveau-Baham equation. Fauveau-Baham on their part did not have an easy ride to the final. This club from the west region of Cameroon, given that we're talking about the west region of Cameroon, is just the share borders with Bamenda, the share borders with the northwest region of Cameroon, where we are broadcasting this special edition of Sports Vision. Fauveau-Baham, on their way to the final, they had to dismiss teams like Canon of Yaoundé, Astro of Douala, and especially the no-nonsense Victoria United, alias Opopo, that was at the quarter-final stage. Daniel Ekonde joins us on board Sports Vision to explain to us the road covered by Fauveau-Baham on their way to the final this Sunday. Good evening to you, Daniel.
Hi, Baldwin. Fauveau Club of Baham had an exciting journey to the final of the Cup of Cameroon. They put 6 goals past Union Sportive de Abombang, a regional league side. They also defeated Canon of Yaoundé. They defeated Victoria United as well as Colombo of the Jar and Lobo to reach Sunday's final. So in all of that, they scored 10 goals. In this report, I'm looking at how they made it to the final of the competition. When Guy Berteng Jemnang's Fauveau of Baham set out for their 2023 Cup of Cameroon campaign, no regular football pundit tipped them front-runners to the final. It had been 13 years since they won the most glorious football silverware in the land. And they were in the mix of the country's top guns in Coton Sport, who are 7-time champions of the competition, and Canon Yaoundé, the most decorated team in the history of the Cup of Cameroon, with 11 trophies. Yet, having won the national trophy twice, the Violet and White knew just how to weave their way to the top. It started against East Regional League side Union Sportif of Abombang. Central striker Nananga's first pair of goals opened the floodgates for Fuvu to punish the amateur side. Abombang struck back. However, Fuvu were too strong for the regional league club. Fuvu rounded off the game 6-3, sending a signal to their round 16 opponents. Of course, Kanong Yaoundé. Propelled by their playoff berth in the M10 Elite 1 and a duty to win a maiden trophy in 21 years, Bakum had an ambitious edge over their Baham rivals. But Fuvu forced a 1-1 draw in regular time and grabbed the game 7-6 on penalties, crashing Kanong's last hope for a title this season. The 2001 winners grew in confidence and knew it was just a matter of time to reach the pinnacle of the Cup of Cameroon. Fuvu didn't take much time to break the deadlock against Victoria United in the quarterfinals. A 14-minute strike accelerated a thunderbolt by midfielder Stefan Ikpeme. That was enough to send them to the semi-finals, setting up a clash against Colombe of Sangmelema. Colombe had uprooted 2017 winners Edin Spor and were sharpshooting to the final. However, Fuvu endured their rage and pushed the game to spot kicks, winning on a grueling 12-11 margin. The Violet and White scored 10 goals in 4 matches to reach the Cup of Cameroon final, where they will meet the 2021 champions, PWD Bamenda. The fact that Gilbert Njemnang's side defeated the Kanong of Yaoundé, one of the favourites of this year's Cup of Cameroon, as well as Colombe of the Jar and Lobo, also a favourite, says a lot about their determination to get their 3rd Cup of Cameroon title. So Sunday, it's going to be a decisive one for the West team, and they're looking forward to that against the PWD of Bamenda.
Thank you so much, Daniel. History will be told at the end of the final this Sunday, whether they must have won this final or not. And let's now look at Fuvu Baham's history and romance with the Football Cup of Cameroon when they way back played finals like in 2001 and in 2010. The last final they played was in 2010, and they're looking forward to playing another final some 13 years after they last played a final. Fuvu Baham's history with the Cup of Cameroon is narrated for us by Nana Walter Wilson. Good evening to you, Nana Walters.
Hello, my dear Baldwin, Mr. Sama. Once more, welcome to my desk out here at the CRTV Sports and Entertainment. As you see on my desktop out here, I'm digging into the history of Fuvu Football Club of Baham. Of course, the team that has history in the Cup of Cameroon. And so this time around, Fuvu is once more into the spotlight across the 10 regions of Cameroon. Fuvu is in the spotlight across the west region of the Republic of Cameroon as they're building up for the 2023 Cup of Cameroon final against a very spirited PWD of Bamenda, P Tonton, and of course the Abakwa boys. Baldwin, what is the history of Fuvu of Baham into the Cup of Cameroon? I want to invite you and our millions of listeners across the world to get to me as we dig out the history of this exciting football club from the west region of Cameroon. So come with me, boy, as we dig out into my desktop out here.
Fuvu of Baham are back to the Cup of Cameroon final after 13 years in the cold. They beat Colombe of Sangmelema by 12 goals to 11 in post-match penalties during the semis of the Cup of Cameroon 2023. In 90 minutes of play, it was a 1-1 tie. Fuvu of Baham, fondly called the Yongwa Boys, is a Cameroonian club created in 1978 in Baham, the Upper Plateau Division in the West region. The team won their first Cup of Cameroon title in 2001, beating Sintra of Yaoundé in a dramatic final 3-2. This, to the delight of goalkeeper Ebok Misinga, who was part of the Fuvu squad and lived the moments.
Bonaventure Djonkep a été un homme puissant, un homme de caractère pour que nous puissions arriver à bout de cette finale de 2021 contre le Central de Yaoundé. Ça n'avait pas été facile, mais le coach Djonkep a mené un combat très dur. Nous travaillons très dur déjà qu'en des années 99-2000, le coach Djonkep, lui, il était déjà très avancé parce qu'il allait faire ses stages à la JOC, quand si j'ai bonne mémoire, ce qui fait que quelque part, il nous a inculpé un esprit de gagneur. Et tout ce qui caractérisait les joueurs de Fuvu de Baham à cette époque, c'était la gagne. Et à chaque moment où nous descendons sur un terrain de football, il fallait gagner.
On how the 2001 final unfolded, Ebok Misinga explained.
Oh, je me souviens très bien que c'était un match quasi difficile parce que je ne pourrais pas ravir cette vedette à mon jeune petit frère Eder Ondoa, dont dont je souhaite ici bonne guérison déjà parce qu'il est malade en ce moment. C'est lui qui m'avait supplié dans les buts parce que je me souviens qu'en quart de finale de la Coupe du Cameroun, j'avais eu un malaise et c'est Eder Ondoa qui avait pris les buts, qui m'avait relayé dans les buts à partir des demi-finales jusqu'en finale de cette Coupe du Cameroun. Il a été vraiment il a été très courageux de prendre ces buts parce que ce n'était pas facile. Déjà, dès la Coupe du Cameroun, dès les 16e de finale, Fuvu était la cible à battre. La finale de la Coupe du Cameroun 2001 n'a pas été facile. Il fallait aller la chercher à la ressource. Centre n'était pas une petite équipe à l'époque. Hein. Pour ça, pour ceux qui l'ont connu, je rends également mémoire au président Dino Hans, ce sont des gens qui ont œuvré pour le football camerounais. Malheureusement, ils n'ont pas pu en profiter. Vraiment, je leur rends un très grand hommage, mais je dis la Coupe du Cameroun en 2001 n'avait pas été facile. Le score avait été 1-0, c'est revenu à 1-1, après ça allait à 2-1, 2-2, et voilà, à la dernière, à la phase, à ce dernier moment, on arrache un troisième but à Centra, et voilà comment est-ce qu'on gagne la Coupe du Cameroun.
In 2006, Fuvu, the club named after the sacred caves in Baham, will be back to the Cup of Cameroon final for the second time against Union Sportive of Douala, the Nasara Gamakai. This time around, the team from the West region lost by 0-1 goal. 4 years after, that is in 2010, they made another stride, getting to the final of the Cup of Cameroon for the third time, in which Fuvu of Baham beat Les Astres Football Club of Douala by 2-1. Here they are into their fourth final of the Cup of Cameroon in 2023 against a very spirited PWD of Bamenda of President Pascal Chou Abunde. While both teams and football enthusiasts across Cameroon and the rest of the world are looking forward to the date of the final to be announced by the powers that be in Cameroon, Fuvu of Baham is known for its passionate fan base and the commitment of the management of the team to develop their talents.
Bonne chance à cette équipe de Fuvu de Baham qui jouera sa troisième finale de la Coupe du Cameroun consécutive, parce que ce n'est pas facile. Et dire également, et parler également du projet que nous avons, nous les anciens joueurs de Fuvu de Baham, parce que nous avons mis sur pied une association des anciens joueurs de Fuvu de Baham et sympathisants. Donc je dis ici au président merci déjà, je dis à toute cette grande équipe qui se mobilise pour cette finale, pour nous les anciens joueurs de Fuvu de Baham, pour cette mobilisation que nous sommes en train de faire, parce que nous voulons aller plus haut et plus grand. Parce que pourquoi pas faire comme tous les autres à chaque moment où notre équipe Fuvu de Baham a un match comme celui-là, pourquoi ne pas se mobiliser et venir supporter, soutenir nos jeunes petits frères.
Fuvu of Baham have a history of successes, having won several regional and national championships over the years. The high-respected football team in Cameroon, and as they build up to the Cup of Cameroon Final 2023, football lovers should watch out for the following players in their ranks: Emmanuel Beken, Stefan Amekan Ekpeme, Kwasi Kwaja, Ibrahima Daouda, and Muhammad Haruna.
Settling, my dear Baldwin, Mr. Sama, you got all the insights of the history of Fuvu Football Club of Baham in the Cup of Cameroon, while we're building up to the big announcement from the powers that be in this great republic on when the final between Fuvu of Baham and PWD of Bamenda, PWD of Upcountry is coming up. Let me get back into my research. See you some other time. Baldwin.
Interesting to know that they had to cover such a path for Fuvu of Baham. Now, Fuvu of Baham, they are equally already in Yaoundé, just like PWD for Bamenda. But before getting to Yaoundé, Fuvu of Baham, they trained over there in Baham, in the west region of Cameroon, for several weeks before traveling over to Bagofit, that's in the east region of Cameroon, where they equally intensified the different training sessions, and now they are already in Yaoundé. While in Baham, our reporter Chanceline Nanze visited Fuvu of Baham during one of the training sessions to see how the team has been preparing to see into it how they can stop PWD from winning the Cup of Cameroon for the second time after they did so in 2021. Good evening to you, my dear Chanceline Nanze.
Hi there, Baldwin. Welcome to the studios of CRTV West here in Bafoussam. Fuvu of Baham have been fine-tuning tactics ahead of the final of the Cup of Cameroon. The team has been renewed at 60% with just 10 of the players who qualified the club for the final of the Cup of Cameroon left. They have recruited 15 new players. The coach as well has been changed, and it is now Emmanuel Dumbeboso who is at the helm of the club, and so he has been doing a lot to ensure that he gets to know the new players that are coming into the team. He gets to know those who have been in the team as well, so that their game on Sunday will be fluid. And so the tactician has done a lot ever since they started training again for the Cup of Cameroon. And so today we're going to be looking at how ready Fuvu of Baham are for Sunday's final of the Cup of Cameroon. Stay with me.
Cantonal ballon, that I have to put all this in the group. I told them that the first thing is the concentration. They have to be concentrated and to be focused, everyone, on what they have on 10 days. If we can try to be in that mood, I think that we can do something. Not really that we are going to be on the top of what we are looking for, but I think that we are going to try, because you cannot do otherwise. We need more times than this, but unfortunately we don't have it. So we are just going to manage these few days that we have to prepare the final.
And there is harmony in the camp, the old working hand in glove with the new.
We've been training well. The coach has been superb. The training has been really great since the coach came. So we've been preparing well for the final. Everything is lovely. I mean, we are like brothers, so everybody's cool. We're having a good time with each other, so we're preparing very well for it.
Our objective is for us to be prepared physically, mentally, spiritually, to make sure that when we go to meet PWD of Bamenda in the coming of final, we'll be able to win it. And we are preparing okay, we're preparing mentally, because the coach have been putting us in the right pace, so that we'll be ready before that time. I know it's a privilege to have a coach international, not just a coach without a CV, a coach who is a champion.
They train daily to meet up with the demands of the match. Their opponents, PWD of Bamenda, will be a tough one to face, and staff and players of Fuvu are aware of that.
The main objective of today was pressing one side and conservation of balls the other side, like the way we are playing during the match. So I want them to notice it really because there are the two main possibilities when you are playing. So when you don't have ball, you have to be defending, and when you have ball, you attack. With my small experience, I know the 3/4 of the players of PWD because they worked with me at that time with Young Sport Academy. But it's not a reason. I have to prepare my own team so that, it will be a surprise, but not a bad surprise. Want it to be a good surprise. So I think that I'm looking of my opponents, that I think that everything will be okay.
From the goal post to defense, midfield, attack and finishing, there is no room for mistakes. Notes are also taken for corrections. Supporters come each training day to cheer the team. They hope Fovo will bring home the trophy. Players and staff are aware the entire region is counting on them.
You people just need to stay behind us and give us the support and wait for the result.
With the atmosphere in the team, obviously we're preparing for the victory. We hope to get the victory. So we definitely promise the fans that we'll give our best, and at the end of the day we'll come back with the victory by the grace of God.
Football can be predicted, but I can't tell you that we lost. So we are going there for victory. First of all, we have to prepare there, so that when we reach there, it will be something that we have already done in the training or something that we have already prepared for. So definitely we are going there for that cup. So we are bringing the cup back to Baham.
Their last triumph was in 2010. Fovo are looking forward to lifting the Cup of Cameroon trophy again 13 years later. And so, Baldwin, you will agree with me that there is a lot of talking that needs to be done to boost the morale of these players who haven't trained as much as PWD have done, given that they started their training just about 2 weeks ago. And so Ndumbeboso has a lot of work he needs to do before Sunday to ensure that these players go into the game mentally prepared to beat PWD of Bamenda, who were the champions of Cameroon in 2021. I will certainly be coming back, Baldwin, to tell you how well fans of this club that will be representing the entire West region are prepared to cheer Fovo of Baham to victory on Sunday.
Thank you so much, Chanceline. Lots of mobilization on the part of football lovers in the West region of Cameroon, especially in Baham. Looking forward to Sunday's grand finale. How would they support Fovo of Baham? Would some of them travel over to Yaoundé, or how do they foresee this match? Kelvin Nembo for CRTV West in Bafoussam took interest in how some of these football lovers and fans of Fovo of Baham are mobilizing ahead of Sunday's final. Good evening to you, Kelvin.
Hello, Baldwin Sama. Hello, televiewers of the Cameroon Radio Television. You are highly welcome to the Western region. As you know, Fovo Club of Baham will be representing this region at this year's Cameroon Cup final. Baldwin, here in the Western region, precisely in Bafoussam, you have thousands of supporters of Fovo Club of Baham. They say they are preparing so well to throw their weight behind Fovo Club of Baham. You know, the journey of Fovo Club of Baham was not an easy ride as they struggled, defeated their opponents at the knockout stage in order to arrive at the final. Baldwin, here in the Western region, supporters strongly believe that Fovo Club of Baham has got all that it takes to beat a PWD of Bamenda during the Cameroon Cup final, and they say they are certain that they are going to bring back the trophy. Follow me, let's go talk to some of them and you shall be getting their reactions. Fovo Club of Baham emerged winner of the Cameroon Cup final in 2001 and 2010. Enough reason for their fans to say the club has got the needed experience to defeat their opponent, PWD of Bamenda, during this year's Cameroon Cup final. In the run for the finals, Fovo recorded 5 victories out of 5. The supporters say it is an excellent performance. They are ready to throw their weight behind their team.
Je suis avec ce club qui s'est démarqué parce que c'est une compétition et ce n'est pas facile tout le monde vient avec l'esprit d'aller en finale, de gagner, mais tout le monde ne peut pas aller en finale. Donc, je suis vraiment de tout cœur, je suis derrière Fovu Club de Baham.
Je pense que la victoire sera la nôtre. Parce qu'avec tous les matchs qu'on a eu à jouer et à remporter, la finale sera un petit truc pour nous. Et nous sommes déployés pour pouvoir les supporter, raison pour laquelle on a fait des gadgets et nous serons là massivement pour pouvoir les supporter. Et je pense que la victoire sera la nôtre. Nous repartirons de là en tant que gagnants.
Fovu va gagner, sans doute. Parce que pour arriver là-bas, ça avait mérite. Ils vont donner 2-0 à PWD.
Nous voulons qu'ils aillent de l'avant, qu'ils aillent plus fort et que l'équipe gagne 2-0.
Souhaitons que Fovu gagne et ramener la coupe à la maison.
Ils vont gagner. Fovu, c'est une équipe très forte. Ils vont gagner. 2-0. C'est la fierté de l'Ouest. Tout l'Ouest est derrière Fovu. Tous les ancêtres sont derrière Fovu.
Even before the D-Day, the march of supporters is already on over here in the West region. So you can imagine just how the atmosphere of the stadium on the game day will look like.
And as they mobilize, others have already been giving predictions as to what will be the outcome for the final on Sunday. For them, they are so convinced that it's going to be a swift win for Fovu of Baham, contrary to what supporters of PWD of Bamenda think. Once more, we get back to our lady on board, Chancellor Nanzi of CRTV West in Bafoussam, lady in the fatigable lady. Good evening once more and welcome. Tell us, what do fans say would be the outcome of the final on Sunday, Chancellor?
Hi there, Bodin. It's always a pleasure being with you from the West region. Supporters of Fovu Club of Baham are unanimous that PWD of Bamenda will be a hard nut to crack for the darling team of the people of Baham that will be representing the West region at the final of the 2023 Cup of Cameroon. But they are confident that this team that was the last from the West region to win a trophy, that was in 2010 when they won the Cup of Cameroon, will do same again. Because according to them, they say that Fovu never goes to the final and comes back empty hands. So our package today is going to be focused on the predictions of these fans as far as the final of this competition is concerned. It's been 11 years since the Cup of Cameroon trophy visited this town, Baham. Some of the fans cannot even remember how the silverware looked like when it came because they were still toddlers at the time, while others had not found interest in football yet. Today, they might have a different narrative. Fovu of Baham are at the Cup of Cameroon final again after their 2010 stunt. And fans are happy they will live the electrifying moment once more. They foresee Fovu reaching Cameroonian football glory again.
I was very happy to see what they was doing in the field. So now we are really happy. I hope everybody is happy for the match. Only that I never know the date, but I think as from today I'm ready. So at any time I just feel that the match will be played. I'm sure I will be in the field so to watch and to support my own club, Fovu de Baham.
Nous en sommes réjouis et on attend.
It is our wish here in Baham that Fovu emerge champions.
Les Baham veulent que Fovu puisse remporter cette finale.
Je suis déjà très content que Fovu de Baham puisse arriver à ce niveau.
I am very happy to see Fovu of Baham at this stage because I hail from Baham and I love sports too.
Pendant que Fovu de Baham est à ce niveau, je suis dans les obligations de me déplacer pour Yaoundé pour supporter Fovu de Baham en tant que déjà natif de Baham.
Predictions are all in favor of their cherished club. To them, PWD of Bamenda is a worthy opponent. And if Fovu have shown the stuff they are made of by reaching this stage of the competition, then they are certain the trophy will be theirs.
We are not gods, but we will win PWD 2-1.
Impossible n'est pas Baham déjà.
Impossible is not Baham. We are courageous and strong because we are from the sacred rocks. We are sure we will win.
Nous sommes des reçus sacrés. Nous sommes certains de battre l'équipe qui est en face de nous déjà.
Watching the game live in Yaoundé is a must for some supporters, and they are already taking measures to achieve their set goal.
I will be there at Yaoundé because very soon I will travel. I have something important to do in Yaoundé, so I will be there, lively, watching the match.
I am obliged as a native of Baham to be in Yaoundé for the final.
Fovu of Baham represents an entire region that is expecting to have a major trophy in the region for the first time in a decade. Barton, you will agree with me as well as with the fans of Fovu of Baham that the encounter against PWD is certainly going to be a very difficult one, given that PWD of Bamenda won the competition in 2021, and Fovu Club of Baham coming to this stage of the Cup of Cameroon after 11 long years. They lastly did in 2010, and so it's going to be a very interesting one to watch, and the fans are confident that the trophy will be coming back to the West region. Reporting live from Bafusam, I am Shanslin and with the assistance of Benakwimi. Over.
Now time for us to unveil our guest on the program, our two guests on the program, the governors of the two finalists, the Northwest and the West regions of Cameroon, Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique, who has been very, very supportive of not only PWD of Bamenda, but almost all the teams that represent that region, be it in Elite 1 or Elite 2 football in Cameroon, and Governor Awa Fonko Augustine, likewise, who has been very, very supportive with regards to the different football teams in the West region of Cameroon. Let's listen to Awa Fonko Augustine, Governor of the West region of Cameroon, and Adolphe Lele Lafrique, Governor of the Northwest region of Cameroon, unveil their different strategies to see into it how they may want either PWD of Bamenda or Fovu of Baham to win the final this Sunday.
We remain very enthusiastic towards this football final. You remember last year, a team from the West region, the Bambutus of Buddha, was a finalist, but unfortunately didn't make it. And last year, everybody expected Bambutus, given the number of spectators and various spectators that we had. So I think we've learned our lesson from the mistakes that we committed last year, and this time around we've decided not to be vocal, to be very quiet, map out our strategies, and work very carefully towards making it this time around. I've told you that our strategy has changed, and Fovu of Baham is not Bambutos of Buddha. Bambutos has so many fans and who are very vocal, but Fovu is a team that is very calm, and as I told you, we want to learn from our mistakes, because we were talking too much last year. We had to speak out our strategies. So this time around, we want to be quiet, very reserved, talk very little, so that make our opponents understand as if we're not even preparing for this football final. But I want to let you know that we need that trophy very badly. The team is carrying out its training sessions. We're working at the background, and we're mobilizing the supporters of the team and the elite of the West region to support the team when the time comes. They're going to step in as usual, the elite, to provide the financial assistance, and as far as the spectators are concerned, they'll come out in their numbers when the time comes to go and support Football of Baham at these football finals. In fact, we will not want to enter into history as a region that is always appearing at the finals and never having the trophy. We want to go in this time around and make this region proud. And you need to know that this region is contributing a lot as far as football is concerned in this country. Financially, many of the clubs are owned by sons and daughters of this region. Even teams that are found out of this region are financed by elite of this region. So I think we will not want to end at that. We want to also make this population proud by causing and supporting Fufu so that they win this trophy. Mr. Kandem, he's an old hand into the matter, and he does not own only Fufu. He has other clubs. So he's an experienced manager, and financially he has the means of taking care of the players. He's equal to his vision. So I think this explains why, as far as non-payment of salaries are concerned, you will not have that with Fufu. So I think I'm just through this medium asking the other sponsors of football to make these players proud, to give them their due. It's a very intriguing question, but this is a situation whereby one side has to win. I think now I'm governor of this region, and the responsibility is mine to pilot the affairs of this region in the economic domain, in the social domain, in the cultural domain, and there's no question of sharing affinities. I think I should do the job for which I'm being paid. I think it's just like the case of a foreign coach who comes to coach Cameroon, and Cameroon is playing against his country of origin. I don't think he will come up with a funny lineup. He has to understand that this is where, from where he's receiving his salary, and give the utmost of himself. At the end of it, when he would have performed so well and his area of origin loses, he can go back home and be shedding the tears with his area of origin.
It's with those reactions from the two governors, the Northwest and the West region of Cameroon, that we put an end to this very special edition of Sports Vision broadcast from Upstation in Bamenda on the occasion of the final of the Football Cup of Cameroon that officially closes the sports season in Cameroon for this year, 2023. We want to say thank you to the entire Sports Vision team. Thank you to all our reporters who contributed in making this very special edition a successful one. Looking forward to another special edition of Sports Vision next week, Friday, which will be entirely dedicated to the start of this year's 81 Football Championship. Until then, we leave you in the company of this beautiful area view of Upstation in Bamenda. Bye-bye.